welcome back to another video! This week we're going to be doing some more time travel because I'm a very busy student, so I do videos when I can and then I post them in order. So right now it is October 21st, as you can see I'm still working on Inktober, even though by the time this goes up Inktober will have been over. But I just thought I'd make a video since I've got the opportunity to film. Usually when I do my Inktober, like I've done the last couple days, I've been out on the go, like in class and stuff, or at friends' place, all those kinds of things. So I do my Inktober when I can, and when I'm able to, and if it's I have to film in class, or if I have to do this, that, whatever, I can't really bring my tripod and have this set up or like speak while I draw. In most situations, but today I have a couple hours where I'm at home and I haven't done my Inktober for today yet, so I thought I would film it. And even though Inktober is already passed, maybe you can take this video as a helpful sort of situation for next year. So first thing that I want to do in this video is just walk you guys through my material list. So I have the official prompt list printed out, and I have the check marks for when I've done the things, and I'm using this sketchbook. It's just an artist loft, I guess, and it's 9 by, no, it's not 9 by 9 by 12 or 8.5 by 11. I don't know. It's pretty big, bigger than sketchbooks I've done before, but I like having the room. And then for art supplies, I've been using this pencil case that I got from Jazz's Jazzy Art Box, and I found that in the like sketching essentials that go in this case. Like obviously in the box you got markers, you got pencils, and you got a bunch of other things. You got its own sketchbook. But this pencil case, the majority, I've added a couple of things, but the majority here is like ink based. So I have like, so the color erase blue Prismacolor I use to like cross out the heading for when I try a sketch and I don't like it, so then I rewrite it and I do it again. That's basically what I use for. I use these for fills, white highlights, line weight variation. I added a little thick ruler because it's been a couple Inktober's now that I've liked using rulers for like either a border or a background. I've also added this 0.25 high-tech C in black, which I actually use a lot, and then I've had to replace because in Jazz's Jazzy Art Box we had 4 I think these are called, Graphix Fineliners. So there was one that came in 0.2 and that one's already died on me because Inktober takes up a lot of ink. So instead of that one, I've got this Pigma Sensei, Micron Pigma Sensei in 03, which is about the same. I know it says 03 and the other one was 02, but I find that these are a bit thinner than these were. So these are basically the supplies I've been working with. I've got 3 of these Graphix Fineliners, one in an 08, one in a brush, and one in an 04, and then again the Pigma Sensei in 03, and high-tech C in 0.25, which is very thin. Mechanical pencil, I haven't had to replace the lead on it yet, but I expect it'll be soon. And an eraser, ruler, a tiny brush pen, a big brush pen, a Signo white gel pen, and the color eraser I don't really use. So my process, because I've also been posting all of my Inktobers on TikTok, so my process for making them essentially is I start off by writing Inktober day whatever and then the prompt. So today is Inktober day 21, so I would go on TikTok, and I'm here on the creator thing for TikTok, and I pick a sound, and so I basically pick a song, and I can't show the song on video because of YouTube copyright or whatever. And then essentially the way that if I'm filming this in class, I either turn on my Bluetooth earphones and I can't listen to anything because I'm in class, but I usually mute the phone, and then if I have to like edit or trim the music later, I just do that on TikTok. So usually what I do is just like I film the intro bit, that's just the Inktober day whatever, and then I write, and sometimes I film it writing, and sometimes the compilation of all my Inktober's, including my TikToks with the sound muted, will come out after this video because time travel. So I've still got a couple days left, but time travel, so you guys will see it pretty soon, sooner than I'll get to finish it. So yeah, I just write the name of the prompt, and then I basically put away my phone for a bit. Or I've been using Pinterest a lot this Inktober because I don't know, it's helpful. So like one of the first things that I do is I look up just the prompt on Pinterest and see what shows up, and then the other thing that I do is I go to the dictionary and look up the prompt on the dictionary and see what inspires me, and then yeah, basically get to drawing. So I'll kick this into time lapse of just my sketching process, my inking process, and then I'll be in voiceover, I assume. So you guys will get to hear me from a couple hours from now, just talking about what I did. So see you there. See you there. Heyo, voiceover Candy here, and so yeah, I just sort of started my process since I finished talking, and now it's after the fact, so obviously you know what I did. So I started off with a sketch of, well, my first instinct with treasure was like try to do a mother with a baby, because life is a treasure, but I didn't really like the feel of the sketch, and I didn't really like connect so much with the idea because I'm not a mother, and I know that like my cousins have recently had kids and my mum was obviously very important to me, but I wasn't really connecting with the feeling of motherhood when I was drawing this. So then I thought, okay, well, what does connect with me? What is a treasure to me? And I figured, oh, well, right now I sort of consider myself kind of, and it's not like an arrogant way, I'm thinking a bit more of a self-love, self-care type of way. It's been a really tough week of school at the time that I'm filming this. By the time it comes out, it'll have been like long past and I've probably forgotten about it, but yeah, assignments have been like really much a nightmare, and it's just before I'm having a week off, but the week off is supposed to be like a mental health kind of week off, but I have to do a lot of like portfolio work for my like portfolio class because I had to put that on the back burner when I was taking care of other assignments, and I don't really want to turn this into a complaining fest, but because of all this stuff, my idea was to do a little of it. I'm my own treasure. I love myself. I need to take care of myself. So the illustration isn't exactly me. Like I didn't do my glasses or anything, but I did do my hairstyle, and I did do like clothes that I would wear and bare feet and all that. I think I missed my tattoo, but like it's not supposed to be like me exactly, but it's like very heavily inspired about me. And I haven't done any Inktobers with me as the subject yet this year, so I feel like every year I do at least one that I've done Inktober so far, I mean. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to take the prompt treasure, and I have been trying this year in October to take like the first thing that comes to mind. Like there's a couple of days where I really did do like literally what the prompt says. Like for Snow, I did Jon Snow. For Legend, I did Legend of Zelda, so I did Link. So Husky, I just drew a Husky. There has definitely been a couple of days where I've really taken the prompt at face value, but other days I decided to try to go for something that's a little bit less like thought about. So for like Overgrown, I did a skull with wildflowers growing out of it. Or for pattern, I did a mandala. So a mandala is a pattern, but it's not like that much of a repetitive pattern. It's a circular pattern. For Frail, I did a girl with like broken bird wings, because birds are kind of frail. And anyway, so I tried to do not the most straightforward of interpretation for a prompt, and I figure that treasure, most people are going to do pirates, or they're going to do like jewelry, or they're going to do love, like my first idea between a mother and a child sort of thing. So for mine, I really it's been a kind of that kind of day where I kind of had to prioritize myself a little bit. So I thought that taking the interpretation of treasure, of me treasuring myself and me taking care of myself, would be just an interesting one. So yeah, essentially I just did like I had the idea of me with my hands towards my chest, and then I decided to just turn it into full body with sitting cross-legged to just flesh it out a bit more. And eventually I got the idea to do the background mostly black with a white kind of halo directly behind me, and I could have done the lighting a little bit more intense. I could have focused a little bit more on like a rim light sort of effect because of the way that I did the lighting, but it was more just an assist tool to illustrate the concept, and to also like up the contrast, because in the beginning of Inktober I did quite a few more of them that had the black background and more lighter coloured subjects, but it's been quite a couple of days since I've done white backgrounds, so I decided today would be a good day to bring the black background back. So even right now in the video I'm filling in the black background, and you'll see me use a couple of other of my pens to add texture and effect to the little halo that's like directly behind me, and then I try to like tweak the contrast and all that kind of stuff a little bit more. And yeah, you might have noticed, I don't think, yeah, there we go. Throughout the process I'm also like taking pauses to film the bits of TikTok because it's an experiment. I don't think I really talked about it too much. I might talk about it in a later video, but yeah, throughout Inktober I've been experimenting with TikTok just to like sort of see what the platform is like. As the day that I'm recording this, I haven't had like necessarily the best luck. My most viewed video is my first one, which is literally me throwing pens at the prompt list, but you know, working at it. My TikTok username's in the description, so check that out. But pretty soon we're going to go back to real-time candy as I explain how I take photos and edit them of my Inktober, so I'll just get to that and I'll see you there. Right, so I'm about done this illustration, so I thought I would come back to real-time candy, hello real-time candy here, and show you guys how I edit my Inktober posts. And again, time travel, so you've all seen all of them, but you might be surprised to know that I don't scan them. So my friend Fantasy Finder actually turned me onto this app, but first is taking a photo of the illustration, and then I'm gonna go and open it in this app called Snapseed, and you can see that here I have yesterday's post, well, yesterday for me. And so there's like couple tools. So first I go to black and white and I use the dark theme. So if you can see that there it says dark theme, so it makes the blacks darker. Then next up is crop, and I have it preset to square cropping, and I'm just gonna budget. Sometimes this app also has a thing called expand, so I can show you really quick. If you go to expand, you can like make it larger or smaller, but I don't know, maybe make it a bit larger, and you can sort of set what the color you want of the fill. So if you have like a white background, you can set it so it goes white in the area that you're expanding, or if you have black background like I do, I can make it go black. So then I go to tools, selective. And so with selective, you just put your sticker somewhere, and then you go brightness up, so it makes your white whiter, and then you can add another little point and do the same thing, another little point and do the same thing. And I do like the idea of having the black background, so I'm just gonna brighten, because usually you would brighten up like the lower corners, but I want to keep those dark. I exported the little edits that I made, and I'm back in my camera roll. So in my camera roll, I go to edit, and then I go to the shadows and I turn them down so it makes the blacks black, and I hit done, and then I go back to edit, and then I go to the three little dots in the upper corner and go to markup. And in markup, I grab this black little marker thing, because this I'm doing it like in a black background. So if I were doing a white background and you can sort of see like the corner of my sketchbook, or like some eraser shavings or something like that, I would just go in with a white, or in this case black, to just fill in the edges. And I feel like it might be cheating, but I don't really care because as you can see in the real life one, I do have it colored mostly, but at the same time, like, I do want to make my supplies last as much as possible. So I just color in the edges, and then I hit done, and then I'm good to post. That's basically it. So here we have my finished illustration for day 21 treasure for Inktober 2019. I do have all my Inktovers posted on Instagram, and I'll be doing the compilation video shortly. But yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.